What's going on, everybody? Coming at you with another deck profile. Yes, as I mentioned, our Sunday showdowns are on hold, probably just until Ultra Prism comes out. We want to get some new cards out there, some new product out there in gameplay. So, hitting you with another deck profile. Maybe you can take this deck, play it. This is expanded format. Let me just say that. This one is an expanded format. You might be looking at Phantom down there, but this is the non-item locking, non-rude deck. Well, actually, it's still kind of rude, but at least it doesn't shut you out of playing the game. So, main attacker is Trevenant. So let me go ahead and move my stacks out of the way for just a moment. All right. So, the idea behind this deck, guys, is that you are actually spreading damage and then getting multiple KOs. So we have 4 copies of Ascension Phantom. For 1 psychic energy, you may search your deck for a Trevenant and evolve the Pokemon. So 4 copies of Phantom. We are running 4 copies of Trevenant. This is the Trevenant from Breakpoint. Yeah, I know. I'm going to get in a bunch of comments. You should have gotten the item lock Trevenant. If you guys want to donate $40 for me to get 4 copies of that Trevenant, that would be fantastic because each of them are like $10 right now. So, I'm going to work what I got, which is the Trevenant from Breakpoint. With the ability Nervous Seed, as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, the attacks of your opponent's basic Pokemon cost 1 more colorless energy. So, it's still not a bad Trevenant. No, it's not the one from, I believe, XY base set, but it's still a pretty good Trevenant. So, we'll throw that down there. 3 copies of Trevenant Break. Honestly, guys, the main attack we're using, because notice I didn't even go over the Energy Press attack, because we don't really use that in this deck. We're actually using Trevenant Break Silent Fear for a Psychic and colorless energy. Put 3 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. This is how we're going to get our multiple KOs. So there's the main attacker of this deck. Moving on, we're running 2 copies. Remember I said multiple KOs of Espeon EX for Miraculous Shine. Once we've spread enough damage around the board, we can hit Miraculous Shine and get multiple KOs. Okay. To help us kind of get our energy acceleration going, running 1 copy of Shining Mew, which is used for legendary guidance. 1 psychic energy. Search your deck for up to 2 energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you like. Alright. Now, what's cool about this deck is we are running 2 copies of Dimension Valley, which will actually reduce the amount of our attack, or the cost of our attack. 1 copy of the Monkey Man Oranguru, simply for Instruct, to help us get and access our deck, find the cards we need. 1 copy of Tapu Lele. Remember, this is expanded format, so honestly, Lele, yes, it's useful, but it's not a must. But it's nice to be able to get that pinch supporter when we need it, if it's not in our discard and we don't have a VS Seeker on hand. And the last Pokemon for this deck is 1 copy of Mew from Evolution, simply for the ability Neutral Shield. It can't be hurt or damaged by any Evolution Pokemon, so that's kind of used to be a wall for us as we are setting up our Trevenants on the bench. Alright, so let me go ahead and move our Pokemon off to the side. So again, guys, it's spreading damage with the break and then coming in with the Espeon EX for Miraculous Shine, which means you do not want to show your opponent that you have that Espeon. You want to Ultra Ball when the time is right, get your Espeon, attach the energy, then go in for the KOs. Alright, our item lineup. 4 copies, not 3, 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Find our Oranguru if we need him to put on the bench. Find our Tapu Lele. Find our breaks if we can't shuffle into them or draw into them. 4 copies of Ultra Ball. 4 copies of VS Seeker to help us get back our supporters. So ideally, you're using your Ultra Ball to actually discard one-off supporters. That way you can get them when you need them with your 4 copies of VS Seeker. Okay. To make this deck really annoying and make your opponent think twice about hitting you, we are bringing back the Bursting Balloon from Breakpoint. 4 copies of that. Basically, guys, if it's on your Pokemon for 1 turn. If your opponent hits you, they take 60 damage. If they skip and decide not to, the bursting balloon gets discarded. Either way, it either buys you time or it puts damage on your opponent, which, as I just told you guys, we're using that Miraculous Shine Espeon to get a KO. Sorry about that, guys. Somebody just like came banging on the door with a package, so sorry about that quick edit. Anyway, as I was saying, bursting balloons, it buys you time, or your opponent's dumb enough to hit you. You then Ultra Ball, get your Miraculous Shine Espeon out there, you're getting KOs. 1 copy of Float Stone, that's to attach to our Oranguru or something else that might need it. Maybe your Tapu Lele, although really your Oranguru, or even a Trevenant, because I didn't show you guys, but my goodness, Trevenant's retreat cost is crazy. It's a 3 retreat cost, so Float Stone could be very handy for that. Now here's the thing, I mentioned that those bursting balloons disappear after 1 turn, so you get it back by using Eco Arm. Shuffle 3 Pokemon tool cards from your discard pile into your deck. So yeah, you can't get all 4 back, but you can get 3. Which has proven to be very frustrating for opponents. 1 copy of Super Rod. We don't really run too much energy because of the stadium we're using. And so, yeah, it's important that we're able to get our Pokemon and our energy back. 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher. It'll either allow us to put 1 Pokemon from our discard into our hand or 3 back into the deck. 2 copies of Field Blower to get rid of items and stadiums from our opponent. 1 copy of Town Map. It lets us flip all of our prize cards face up so we know what we're missing. Honestly, I was really excited to build this deck, guys, just to go back to Expanded and use the really cool trainers that came out in the XY era. Very, very cool. Now, this is what I'm really happy about. 1 copy of the A-Spec Scramble Switch. Switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon, then you may move as many energy attached to the old active Pokemon to the new one as you like. So you can decide if you want to move energy or not, and you can decide how much. This is an A-Spec trainer, so you're only allowed to have 1 A-Spec trainer in your deck. This really helps out, guys, for that Trevenant when it's stuck in a bind because of the heavy retreat cost. Alright, so there's all of our items. Pretty consistent. Nothing super fancy. The bursting balloons, I'll tell you, are probably the best part of this item lineup. It's just so frustrating for opponents too. You know, they think they've escaped the wrath of 4 bursting balloons, only to have 3 more thrown right back into the deck with an Eco Arm. So, very, very frustrating for opponents. Moving on, guys, to our support lineup. 3 copies of N. You guys know by now what this does. Shuffle your hand into your deck, and then you and your opponent draw the same amount of cards left as you have prize cards. So 3 of those. I'm really excited for Cynthia and Ultra Prism because that allows you to shuffle into your deck and draw 6 regardless, and it's just you, it's not your opponent. 3 copies of Professor Sycamore. Discard your hand, draw 7. 1 copy of Lily. On your first turn, draw until you have 8 cards in your hand. Any turn after that, draw until you have 6. Alright, now we got a few, that's our multiple supporters. Now we have a few one-offs. This deck you might get behind because it is a 1 prize card deck. And so we're running 1 copy of Teammates. You can play this card only if one of your Pokemon was knocked out on the previous turn. Search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them immediately into your hand. Kind of a broken card. Sometimes you just gotta love Expanded. 1 copy of Lusamine. A lot of people are hating on this card in Gladion. I think these are fantastic one-off supporters. She allows you to actually get back stadiums or supporters, 2 in any combination. So really in this deck it'd really be used for stadiums because you have your VS Secret to get your supporters. 1 copy of Guzma. 1 copy of Lysander. 1 copy of Wally. If you're going 3rd or whatever, I mean, it doesn't matter what turn you're going. This will allow you to get into your break really, really fast. and 1 copy of Hexamaniac. You can shut off the abilities of your opponent's Pokemon on their next turn. Very, very good card. So, like I said, just all in all, really great supporters. Great trainers in general in expanded format. Yes, there are some broken decks like Poison Nest, Eradicate, but it can also be a whole lot of fun too. Our stadiums, 2 copies of Dimension Valley. Each Psychic Pokemon's attack, both yours and your opponent's, cost 1 colorless energy less. And then our energy count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 psychic energy. That's it. Because of Dimension Valley, we only need 1 psychic energy to hit our Silent Fear, where we put 3 damage counters on each of our opponent's Pokemon. Miraculous Shine only takes 1 energy. If you need to use Energy Drive with Tapu Lele and you have Dimension Valley out, you only need to have 1 energy attached. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So anyway, give this deck a try. See how you like it. Make changes if necessary. While sitting down and building this deck, there were several things that went through my mind about what I could do with it, but I like the way this deck runs. Like I said, I'm not trying to shut my opponent out of the game. I'm trying to spread damage and get multiple KOs, which it does do that. So give it a shot. Let me know how it works for you. Thanks for hanging with me for this deck profile of Trevenant BREAK expanded format. You guys have an awesome day.